back. June 6th, National Applesauce Cake Day. I don't know if I even know what an applesauce cake is. I know you can sub applesauce in a lot of cake recipes for different health reasons. It makes it healthier for some reason. You sub it out for something else. I don't know if it's sugar or flour or something. I don't know, something like that. I don't do it that often, so I don't really know. I know I've read that you can sub it for some stuff, maybe sour cream or heavy cream or something. I don't know. Anyway, research it and see what it is. But anyway, we're doing that today. We're going to do it loaf style, so it's kind of like a pound cake, or pound cake-ish. It has a caramel glaze that we're going to put over the top, which we're going to make also, so that should be kind of cool. I don't know if that makes this thing taste like a caramel apple or not. Probably not. This seems there's a lot of spices in this cake, so it almost seems like a pumpkin bread, or because it's got the cinnamon and the allspice and everything else. So we'll see. It should be very flavorful. Now, a friend of mine told me to try using cake flour instead of regular flour today to make it lighter, and it's not so heavy, not so dense. So we're definitely going to try that today and see if that makes a difference in our loaf cake. Alrighty? So let me show you what you need for today, and let's get started on this one. It's another cake. Okay, for our applesauce loaf cake today, we're using 1 cup of cake flour, 3/4 teaspoon of baking soda, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 1/8 of a teaspoon of ground black pepper, a teaspoon of cinnamon, 1/2 teaspoon of ground ginger, 1/8 of a teaspoon of ground allspice, 1 large egg, 1/2 cup of sugar, 1/4 cup of light brown sugar, 3/4 cup of unsweetened applesauce, 1/3 of a cup of vegetable oil, and 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla. Alright, so let's get started today. So I got my sifter here, and we're going to sift together our flour and all of our spices, our baking soda, our salt, our pepper, don't ask me why there's pepper in this, I have no idea, our ginger, our allspice, and our cinnamon, okay? And we're just going to sift this together into a separate bowl here. It's an old school tool I got here, right? Okay, for this one I'm not using my electric mixer today because this is one of those batters that they say don't overmix. Okay, so in a bigger bowl here I got my 2 sugars, my regular sugar and my brown sugar, and I'm going to whisk those with an egg. Okay? And we're just going to whisk it till it's really incorporated and light and fluffy. Okay, till it looks like that. Till it looks like cake batter all on its own. Okay? Then we're going to whisk in our applesauce. Okay? Our vanilla and our vegetable oil. Okay? And just whisk all those into this egg and sugar mixture. Okay, and you want to whisk that till that's nice and smooth, okay? No lumps in that at all. Oh, by the way, you can preheat your oven to 350, okay? Get that going. Now what you're going to do is take those dry ingredients and you're going to fold them into this batter. No more mixing, okay? Just fold it until it's all incorporated without over mixing it, okay? So you're just going to fold it in. Okay, and then what I did was I sprayed my loaf pan with some baking spray to make sure it doesn't stick. Put a piece of parchment in so it overflows on both sides, because that'll allow us to take it right out of our pan, and then sprayed it again just to make sure that nothing's going to stick here. As you can see, we have a very nice fluffy batter from folding rather than from mixing it. It didn't get all crushed down and heavy. So I'm hoping this is going to be a really light, fluffy applesauce cake, or type of pound cake-ish. Also, like I said, my friend mentioned to me about subbing cake flour for regular flour, which will help too, because sometimes you just want that lighter, fluffier cake, you know? So there you go. Just tap that down a little bit. into our muffin pan. This is going to go into our 350 oven for about 38, 40 minutes. Again, as I always say, we're baking. Keep your eye on it. Want to make sure that it doesn't turn into a big burnt mess. Alrighty, so we'll see in about 40 minutes when this one comes out. For our caramel icing today, we need 2 tablespoons of butter, a 1/4 cup of packed light brown sugar, 2 tablespoons plus 2 teaspoons of heavy cream, 1/8 teaspoon of kosher salt, a 1/2 cup of confection sugar, and a dash of vanilla. Okay, so let's get started on our icing. As you can see, our cake came out beautiful. It's cooling on our cooling rack, and we're going to make our icing now, okay? So, our 2 tablespoons of butter, our heavy cream, our sugar, and our salt, okay? All in here, and we're just going to cook this and blend it all together, okay? Okay, you just want to bring this to a boil, like it is now, just for about a minute. Okay, stirring the whole time. This boils really, really fast because there's not much in here. So you want to just bring that to a boil and then take it off the heat. Then you're going to whisk in your vanilla. And you're going to whisk in your powdered sugar to turn it into a syrupy consistency. Okay, so you don't necessarily have to use all the powdered sugar, but use enough to get it to where you want it on this glaze, okay? Yeah, let's put the whole 1/2 cup. Make this a really nice syrupy glaze. Okay. And once you have it, there it is. Here's your glaze. You're just going to pour this right over your cake, okay? Try to coat the whole thing if you can. Try not to run it off the plate. I guess a bigger plate would have probably been best, but that's okay. Alrighty, there she is. Here's our applesauce cake with our glaze. I know it kind of looks like a meatloaf, doesn't it? It's not a meatloaf, even though it looks like a meatloaf. I'm just going to take a nice piece of this. Oh, I can tell already, using the cake flour, gave us a nice, very fluffy cake. Usually when you do a loaf cake like this, it's very, you can, as soon as you start cutting it, you can feel how dense it is, but this is really, really soft and moist. All right, thanks Tony for that tip on using the cake flour instead of regular flour. Let's give this one a try. I don't think I've ever had applesauce cake, or if I had, I don't remember it anyway. Now that's a good cake. Wow. This glaze on it just totally makes it. It sweetens it up really nice. It tastes almost like a pumpkin bread or a banana bread, like along those lines, because of the cinnamon and the cloves and the allspice and stuff that we put in it. It tastes like that kind of a cake, but super extremely moist cake. I mean, really, really light and fluffy. Awesome. You get a little hint of the apple in it too, which is nice. It definitely doesn't taste like a caramel apple, even though this is this caramel glaze they called it. Really, really good, everybody. Applesauce cake day. Try this one. Super easy. Don't overmix your batter like we did. We folded in the dry into the wet. I think that's what helped this thing stay really light and fluffy too. Alrighty? And sub the cake flour. Really worked. Alrighty? See you all tomorrow. I don't even know what we're doing, but we're doing something. Bye.